A while back, I got scammed for $5,000 over a fursuit commission by someone called Rose who turned out to be some guy who was reselling old fursuits and claiming he made them. You can see that full video in the description, and the update of that since PayPal denied the chargeback. Most of the time they do, to be honest. But my bank also denied my chargeback because it was an authorized payment. Y'all, I authorized to pay for a handmade, custom fursuit. I paid for apples, and this guy was trying to give me laundry detergent. I didn't get the reply notification right away because Twitter sucks in spamming you with random notifications, and I'm also being spammed by Magenta again. Shocker. But someone did let me know that Rose had a backup account and started being active on it once his main account got suspended for being a scammer account. I went to look to make sure this was actually him, and I saw that without any interaction, this new account had already blocked me, so it was obviously him. Weirdly, he is now claiming he lives in my state instead of the UK, like his main account. There were only 2 new posts from him that were from this year, and for the first one, he claims that he's active on this account again because he was just so overloaded with commissions that he didn't have the time, when in reality, he just moved accounts because Twitter found out he was a scammer and suspended his account, so he needed a new place to continue scamming people. Weirdly enough, he started taking pictures outside that little room with the TV, so now we're in some sort of cabin aesthetic room. Anyways, same old scam. He's claiming he makes these fursuits, but if you look closely at them, you could tell that he just bought used fursuit parts off someone to resell for thousands of dollars. This one is very clear because there's a close-up of the eye, and you could see how horribly the white has aged. There's wear and grime all over it, and Rose is claiming that this is a brand new suit he made. This is what happened with Pigeon, except I didn't realize he was just reselling until I was screwed over by both my bank and PayPal because it's been over 180 days. I did talk to my bank again, and they told me to go to PayPal like they always do. This time, I actually called PayPal and kept asking for a higher-up or what law is telling them they couldn't do anything about this crime, and at some point, I read over the transcript from Safe. And PayPal told me that Safe was giving me false information and that they are able to force a chargeback, even if I used PayPal to make payment easier. I go back to Safe and tell them what PayPal said, and they told me to go back to PayPal again, but I was actually still on the phone with PayPal, so I was able to relay messages faster. But basically, I was told that Safe can't file a chargeback and that PayPal was actually lying. And then she ends the conversation telling me to go back to PayPal, even though I had previously mentioned that I was still on the phone with them. Rant about how unreliable banks are over. Back to Rose, they unfortunately scammed someone else, and I went over to reach out to this person so they could try to get their money back as soon as possible. This was what was allegedly made by them, by the way. Somehow, this guy Delta was able to get most of their money back after Rose's main was suspended, but Safe isn't even going to look into my case. I'm going to try to manually open another dispute with the updated screenshots of Rose having their account suspended and blocking me, but I already know it's going to be denied immediately. But yeah, matches up with what Delta said. Rose seems to purposefully wait until the 180 days is over to make sure they're able to legally scam you and have no way of being charged back. I looked at Rose's media, and the only new post was of him being able to understand this language. I don't want to sound uninformed, so I won't try to guess what language this is, but this narrows down what country Rose is actually from because there's no way he's in the UK having hurricanes, and there's no way he's in California with me. Finally, I looked at his replies, and he's doing the same thing his main did. Offering to make stuff for anyone who even mentions looking for a commissioner. All I can really do is reply to the original commenter and warn them about Rose before they accept the commission and pay him. And I wanted to make another Beware video about him since he's active on a new account, and I don't want anyone falling into the same fate as me. As I've mentioned in other pinned comments, I do have a GoFundMe since I don't really have a reliable job, and $5,000 is an insane amount of money to lose for someone who barely makes $100 a week. So that's open if you'd like to support in any way. And if you want something out of it, I do sell fursuit parts I've made through my straw page and eBay. I'm not too great at them yet, still practicing. I was also offered a partial fursuit, so I'll let you know about that if they give me permission to credit them. Definitely want to do some sort of unboxing with it. So, since I wasn't going to get my money back, I decided to message Rose on my other account to see if they still had pigeon. He asked for my Discord, probably learning his lesson that it's very, very hard to get banned on Discord, so it'll be a lot easier to scam someone off Twitter. I gave him an alt account. Here's his Discord username to blacklist. fursuiterhehe. And first image, those brownish paws are from Rose's main account, so this is definite proof they are the same person. We also have the husky from Rose's account. Look how gross and used it is, and he's really trying to claim that these are brand new and just made. Here's the dog from Rose's main account. I didn't see anything of pigeon, so I asked if he had made any previous suits or parts, and he sent me a Google Drive. I didn't feel too safe clicking links, so I went on an alt Gmail as well to see it. So we find out that Rose is also going by HazelGrace12121 based on this username. I downloaded all of these images in the portfolio, so if you see anyone selling these parts, you can know it's Rose. Unfortunately, no pigeon parts. Since I had nothing to go off of, I decided to comment about how hot it was in California, considering Rose was claiming to be in California, and this led to me asking about hooves, specifically brown ones. Specifically the ones that the pigeon suit would have, and lo and behold, he shows me the pigeon feet. I wanted to see if he had finished the head or anything else, so I kept talking to him. I also wanted to see how much he was selling them for since he already got a whole $5,000 profit from them. For the feet, he's selling them for $200. I'm not sure what the rules are for commissions. Do I technically own these parts since I paid for them? Sure, he never shipped them to me, but they're still my parts, right? If so, I'd feel really bad if anyone buys my parts and doesn't realize that firstly, they're using someone else's characters, but secondly, they're using stolen products. I do know that if a person buys like a watch or something only to find out that it was originally stolen, they do have to give it back to the original owner without compensation. So I really hope it won't have to come to that. Here's the tale, too. Now how much do you think Rose is selling all of this for? $500 out of the $5,000 I was scammed. Now as desperate as I was to get my baby home, I wasn't going to pay him anything, even if it meant only 5 weeks worth of working for me. I also didn't want to risk becoming the scammer in order to get what's rightfully mine, because I feel like even though that is my property, I might be breaking the law somehow. Also, knowing that all of these are used parts and fur, I had no idea how dirty the parts actually were. I lied and said that I found the character these parts were from, and Rose claimed that they were a fan of me and were just making a fan suit of my character. I feel like that's a really weird thing to do. I'm working on making a head from an actual show, but if you're making a character of some stranger without their permission or knowledge, I find it really disrespectful and somewhat creepy. I don't know what Rose is yapping about here, but I gave it some time before I sent the scam video I made about him a bit ago. You could tell he wanted to threaten me to take it down because he immediately asked for my contact information. This is why I don't post stuff on Twitter. What are you waffling on about? Rose says that I didn't commission him even though the video literally has screenshot proof of him setting up the commission with me and asking for payments. He also claims that his main account was hacked. I pretended to ask myself about the video and confirmed that Rose was a scammer, and Rose tried to say that it was all alleged, but there is so much proof that it can't be alleged. You can't rob a bank and say your crimes were alleged with the money bag in your hand. I mentioned that I was going to let people know he was a scammer, and he played it off like he didn't care. Well, if you don't care, why did you block me on both Discord and Twitter? I'm still going to make this video and spread it around because I don't want him scamming other people, and I really hope no one buys the pigeon parts because that would suck for the both of us.